שבשמיים, צור ישראל גואלו, ברך את מדינת ישראל, ראשית צמיחת גאולתנו. Avinu שבשמיים, צור ישראל וגואלו, אמן, סלע, אמן, סלע.
Shana Tova. Isn't it wonderful being here with our families and our friends and feeling the excitement of a new year, looking forward with optimism and hope, and listening to that music just raises my spirits and makes me feel so excited for the new year ahead. And so as we begin this celebration, I would like to invite Wendy Yedwab to come forward for the honor of lighting our holiday candles as we turn to page 49.
With the setting of this evening's sun, united with Jews of every place and time, we proclaim a new year of hope. May the light of the divine shine forth to lead us, to show us the good we must do, the harmony we must create. Let the fire we kindle be for us a warming flame, whose brightness shows us the path of life. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam. Sher Kiddishanu b'mitzvotav, vitzivanu lahadlik ner shel Yom Tov. Blessed is the eternal power that inspires us to kindle the light of Yom Tov. Blessed is the source of life and light. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu, v'kiyamanu, v'higianu lazman hazeh. Blessed is the eternal power of the universe, for giving us life, for sustaining us, and for enabling us to reach this season.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh.
We continue now at the bottom of page 51. In the twilight of the vanishing year, we lift up our hearts in thanksgiving. We were sustained by love and kindness, comforted in times of sorrow, found happiness in our homes, and gladness with our friends. We lift up our hearts in thanksgiving as the new year begins. But there were dreams that came to naught and times when we refused to dream. These, with much regret, we now remember as the new year begins. Some of our days were dark with grief. Many a tear furrowed our cheeks. Alas, for the tender ties that were broken. We look back with sorrow as the new year begins. Yet we look ahead with hope, giving thanks for the daily miracle of renewal, for the promise of good to come. May this Rosh Hashanah, birthday of the world, be our day of rebirth into life and peace, serenity and safety as the new year begins. In the 7th month, on the first day of the month, there shall be a sacred assembly, a cessation from work, a day of commemoration proclaimed by the sound of the shofar. Please rise.
Tikkun HaChodesh shofar, B'Kesel Yom Hagenu. Tichot leIsrael hu. Mishpat leElohei Yaakov.
May this new year, called 5780, bring to us and the whole house of Israel life and peace, joy and exaltation, redemption and comfort.
May this new year bring us life and peace, joy and exaltation, redemption and comfort. Amen.
On page 54, Praise be the eternal God, ruler of the universe, whose word brings on the evening. Your will controls the stars as they travel through the sky.
Baruch atah Adonai, Amahari Varavim.
Unending is your love for the people, the house of Israel. Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts have you taught us. Therefore, O God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and rejoice in your Torah and mitzvot forever.
Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. If you're lost, you feel afraid, and you don't know what to say, then listen to our God. Is there a question on your mind? Is the answer hard to find? Then listen to our God. Listen with all your heart and soul, and with all your might. Write them and learn them and teach them well, every morning and night. Close your eyes and listen. Quiet yourself, there's nothing to say. Stop all the chatter that gets in the way and listen to our God. When the wind and the thunder finally disappear, there's still a voice that you will hear if you listen to our God. You can hear it from the top of the highest hill, or from the valley below. It can come from the edge of the universe. It can come from within your soul. Close your eyes and listen. Listen to our God. Listen to our God. As you're seated, we continue together on page 56, the chanting of Ve'ahavta. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננת לבביך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
All this we hold to be true and sure. You alone are our God. There is none else. And we are Israel, your people. You did wonders for us in the land of Egypt, miracles and marvels in the land of Pharaoh. When your children witnessed your power, they extolled you and gave you thanks. Freely they acclaimed you sovereign, and full of joy, Moses and Miriam and all Israel sang this song.
ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגהלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני
Now let all come to say, the Eternal has redeemed Israel and all the oppressed. Blessed is the eternal God.
השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים. O cause us our Creator to lie down in peace and raise us up, O sovereign God, to renewed life and peace. Ashkivenu Adonai Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu Malkeinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu Malkeinu l'chaim.
Cause us, O eternal God, to lie down in peace, and raise us up, O sovereign, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace, guide us with your good counsel, and for your name's sake be our help. Blessed are you, O God, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all Israel, and over Jerusalem.
Yitkadal ve'yitkadash shemei Rabba, ve'alma divrachi rotei, ve'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'b'yamechon u'b'chayei dekol beit Yisrael b'gala u'v'zeman kariv ve'yimeru Yehei shemei Rabba V'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei v'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal shemei dekulesha Leila u'leila min kol berchata v'shirata tush v'chata v'nefemata Damiran ve'alma ve'imeru Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avoseinu ve'Imoseinu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Leah Elohei Rachel Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor בקונאי החול, וזוכר הסעמות והאימהות, ומהי גאולה, נמנה בניהם למען שמו,
Page 61. You are our God, even as you were the God of Abraham and Sarah, the God of our fathers and mothers, the God of all the ages of Israel. Help us recall their vision and pray for the strength to keep it alive. Help us, O God, and shield to keep their faith. Remember us unto life, O Sovereign who delights in life, and inscribe us in the book of life, O God of life.
Lemancha Elohim Chaim, Lemancha Elohim Chaim, Lemancha Elohim Chaim, Lemancha Elohim Chaim. Remember us unto life, O Sovereign, who delights in life, and inscribe us in the book of life, and inscribe us, O God of life. Moshiach Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah.
We continue responsively by paragraph at the bottom of 61. Love is the thread that binds our lives in a lasting fabric, which time shall fray. Which time shall fray. Each generation will lift the fallen to their feet and hold them as they learn to walk. From ancient wells of truth, they will draw strength to keep faith with those who sleep in the dust.
We praise the source of life and power, present life within us, Lord, living, undying hope.
Atah kadosh, v'shimcha kadosh, u'kedoshim bechol yom, yehallelu haselah.
Please be seated. Now in awe we behold the wonder of being, an awesome pageant of shapes and forms, yet all akin one family of life. We pray for wisdom to treasure all creation.
We ask for insight to see its
world released from sorrow to joy. The bowed head shall be raised, the bent back made straight. Those who dragged their chains shall dance and sing. Oh, may violence give way to goodness, the land be cleansed of tyrants, and the prophet's word redeemed. Peace shall rule the earth. The Lord shall reign forever. Your God, O Zion, from generation to generation.
Kadosh ata v'nora shemecha v'en elav yipaldecha kakatuv vayikbar Adonai tzvot v'mishpat v'ha'el hakadosh nikdash v'tzedaka Baruch atah Adonai, HaMelech HaKadosh. Amen. Continue in our service with silent prayer, reflecting on the meditations in the following pages through 68. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu be'amecha Yisrael u'tefilatam be'avat yikabel Ratzon Tamid Avodat Yisrael Yisrael Amecha El Karov Lechol Kore'am Venel Avadecha V'chaneinu Shefach Ruchata Aleinu V'techesen A'ineinu Meshuvcha L'Tzion
As I've been leading services, some of you may have noticed my brand new robe with its 3 beautiful white stripes, designating that this year, after 25 years, I earned an honorary doctorate, as do all rabbis when we become old. So you can call me doctor, but one thing I can't do as a doctor is heal. That's something that we do together in our Jewish community. We bring healing. We work together with medical professionals in these moments and bring prayers into the world that allow us to harness the power and the energy of our tefillah to bring a sense of healing not only to the body but also to the spirit. And so we join our voices and our powers in this moment and sing together a prayer for healing. Misha Berach.
Mishebeirach Avoteinu Mekor HaBaracha Leimoteinu. May the source of strength who blessed the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishebeirach Imoteinu Mikor HaBaracha. Bless those in need of healing with Rufuah Shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We turn now in our prayer books to page 69 as we rise for Avinu Malkeinu. We join together. Avinu Malkeinu, hear our voice. Avinu Malkeinu, we have sinned against you. Avinu Malkeinu, have compassion on us and on our children. Avinu Malkeinu, make an end to sickness, war, and famine. Avinu Malkeinu, make an end to all oppression. Avinu Malkeinu, inscribe us for blessing in the book of life. Avinu Malkeinu, let the new year be a good year for us. Avinu Malkeinu, give strength to your people Israel. Avinu Malkeinu, be gracious and answer us, for we have little merit. Treat us generously and with kindness, and be our help.
Avinu Malkeinu, Shema Koleinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Chatanu lefanecha. Avinu Malkeinu, Chamol aleinu, ve'alol aleinu, ve'tapeinu.
Good Yontif. My future Machatonim live in Kansas City. So this afternoon I was texting with the father of Ariela's fiancée, and he challenged me to bet on the outcome of the football game. So I said, okay, if the Chiefs win, I will buy you dinner. If the Lions win, it will mean the Messiah will have come. So no need for dinner. Nebuch, as it turns out, once again, the Messiah has not come. But the new year has. So let us rejoice and be glad in it. Friends, raise your hand if you are sitting in an empty chair. Now, of course, it is a trick question. How can your chair be empty if you are sitting in it? Well, according to the great Hasidic master, Reb Nachman of Bratslav, if the person sitting in the chair is empty, then the chair is empty as well. Now, with that explanation, do not raise your hands. But how many of us here may be sitting in an empty chair? I hope very few. But just in case, let me share another Reb Nachman story with you. Once Reb Nachman was sitting at his window facing the market, and he spotted one of his Hasidim rushing by. "Have you looked up at the sky this morning?" the Rebbe asked him. "No, Rebbe," came the reply. I haven't had time. I'm in a hurry." "Believe me," said the Rebbe, "in 50 years, everything you see here today will be gone. There will be another fair with other horses, other wagons, different people. I won't be here then, and neither will you. So what's so important that you don't have time to look up at the sky?" So if, like the chassid in our story, you are dwelling too far in the future, or perhaps too much in the past, then the chair you are sitting in now, in the present, is empty. A mashal, an illustration. My wife, Wendy, loves to row. She gets out on the lake on her thin fiberglass shell and pulls on her oars to propel her craft forward while facing backwards the whole time. That would drive me meshuggah. I like to see where I am going, and so I much prefer my paddleboard. On a paddleboard, I can face front and see what is coming my way. And those two boats do represent our respective personalities. Wendy can vividly remember events in the past that slip unnoticed through the sieve of my memory. I am much more forward-facing. I like to plan, to look ahead. I, for instance, am the one who plans all of our vacations. And when I do finally get the chance to sit on a beautiful beach relaxing on a distant isle, do you know what I do? I plan the next vacation, of course. But many years ago, we got a puppy, the cutest, ugly dog you ever met, a French bulldog named Raish. Now, Raish the puppy did not dwell in the past. He couldn't care less about the future. He lived joyously, exclusively, and unapologetically in the now. Now, 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 now. Many years have gone by. Raish grew old and has since passed away. But I can still feel his puppy breath on my face as he licked me furiously, and I hear him in my mind's eye reminding me, now, 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 now. Raish never sat in an empty chair, although he did ruin several of them by chewing on the upholstery. Always remember, Reb Nachman states, it is a great mitzvah to be happy always. It is even good to do silly things in order to cheer oneself up, like a puppy, if you will. So, he advises, when you come home from work every night, dance with your kitchen towel. And if you're worried about waking up your family, take off your shoes. But being happy, always, is not so easy, because we are not puppies. We have responsibilities, work, school, children, jobs, grandchildren. Reb Nachman recognizes this and suggests that we set aside an hour a day to dwell on our problems, to meditate on our lives. And that will free us up for happiness the rest of the time. Well, isn't that what this hour is for? Isn't that what Rosh Hashanah is for? This year, Temple will be providing many such opportunities to meditate on our lives and to celebrate with joy, including one that I am especially excited about. On October 25th, we will be introducing our new Kehillah service for adults. Kehillah means community, and this worship service will feature our amazing new artist in residence, Jacob Krause. The kids call him Spike. Think of it as Shabbat Unplugged, but with a musician and service leader who is hipper, cooler, more talented, and better looking than I ever was. I can assure you that for that 1 hour at least, you will not be sitting in an empty chair. In fact, the music will be so uplifting that you may not find yourself sitting down at all. But still, I know there are obstacles. Recently, a remarkably articulate and thoughtful older woman came to my study. She told me that she was an atheist, but was considering attending our Shabbat services anyway, for the camaraderie. Why should I come to your worship services, she challenged, if I don't believe in the God to whom all the prayers are directed? So I told her the old joke about Cohen the atheist, who was asked, Cohen, why do you come to shul? You don't believe in God. Well, he says, Schwartz comes to shul to talk to God. I come to shul to talk to Schwartz. That didn't get me very far. So instead, I switched the conversation to theology. When we got to Martin Buber's concept of the I, eternal thou, encountering God in relationship with other living things, even, according to Buber, a horse or a tree, she suddenly looked up and said, you know, Rabbi, there was this one time when I was out walking and I came upon a certain tree. And as I gazed at it, I felt as if I were one not only with the tree, but with everything around me. I have good news, I told her, and I have bad news. The good news is that I am going to be speaking about you on Rosh Hashanah. The bad news is that you are not an atheist. Which leads me to a fascinating book I read this summer entitled The Spiritual Child. The author, Lisa Miller, a PhD psychologist and researcher, brings a great deal of scientific data to bear on the question of spirituality. Much of the work in this arena involves twins, and those studies come to the overwhelming conclusion that human beings are inherently spiritual, naturally drawn to the transcendent. There was one chapter of the book, however, which left me stunned. You see, it is a matter of accepted wisdom in our business that teenagers are at the nadir, the low point of their lives in terms of religiosity. But quite surprisingly, the data show exactly the opposite. That during adolescence, young people experience a marked surge in their need for transcendence, for a connection to a higher power. And it is sometimes, due to the absence of this spiritual connection that they resort to unhealthy replacements for the spiritual highs they so crave. They find themselves with a spiritual void that must be filled at all costs. They find themselves sitting in an empty chair. In support of this thesis, Dr. Miller cites scores of published, peer-reviewed scientific studies which indicate that teenagers who have a strong spiritual life are much less likely to participate in heavy substance abuse, experience serious long-term depression, or engage in self-destructive behaviors. Now, is this a panacea that will cure all of these societal ills? No, I am afraid not. We parents cannot fully set the paths of our children's lives, no matter how hard we try or what we do. There are too many other factors, genetic, cultural, accidental, that are simply beyond our control. But we do have an obligation to at least play the odds in their favor. And scientifically speaking, the odds are that an active spiritual life can serve as a protective shield to help them ward off these threats to their safety and well-being. So let me implore you, if you have a teenager living in your home or in your life, please make Yifty and our Roots program a priority. Think of it as an inoculation for the soul. But there is more. For according to the data, when the parent or grandparent share this strong spiritual life with the child, the prophylactic effects are greatly magnified. So, if you have younger children or grandchildren, light those Shabbat candles with them, say the Shema with them at bedtime, build a sukkah, and march with the Torahs here at Simchat Torah. Make Hanukkah more than a time for gift giving, and the Seder a true discussion of freedom. For the research proves quite convincingly that these shared spiritual moments will do more to help your child thrive in an often scary world than any 100 parental lectures that you could possibly give them. Now, before I close, I must mention that Reb Nachman's chair actually exists. It is a beautiful, ornamental wooden throne that was lovingly carved for him by one of his followers in 1808, but then dismantled by his Hasidim and smuggled out of Europe to Israel just ahead of the Holocaust. You can see it there today in the Israel Museum. And ironically, it is empty. But perhaps not really. Because the legacy of a beautiful, saintly soul who taught us to love life, to enjoy our life, and to live in the moment is still very much present. Which brings us right back to your chair, the ones you are sitting in right now. Friends, as I look out on this evening, I see so many beautiful, wonderful people here in this sanctuary. Just about every chair is taken, and for a rabbi, that is gratifying, to be sure. But on this new year, it is our sacred task, working and praying together to ensure that none of them are empty. Shana Tova, may you be inscribed for blessing in the Book of Life.
Take my hand, I'll take yours. Together we can open doors. If you see me and I see you, for who we are, then we'll get through. If we sing one song, witness hatred and abuse. You don't know what to do. You see the world is full of strife. So many seek a better life. You ask, what can I do? Take my hand, I'll take yours. Together we can open doors. If you see me and I see you, for who we are, then we'll get through. If we sing one song, we stand strong, we stand strong, we stand strong, we stand strong. No more hatred, no more war. We will rise up one day more. We know what to do. We will love, not fight our way. That's our promise for today. This is what we'll do. Take my hand, I'll take yours. Together we can open doors. If you see me and I see you, for who we are, then we'll get through. If we sing one song, we stand strong, we stand strong, we stand strong, we stand strong.
We are not alone, we are not alone.
Stand strong, stand strong, stand strong.
Continue now on page 72 as we rise for Aleinu.
Let us adore the ever-living God and render praise unto God, who spread out the heavens and established the earth, whose glory is revealed in the heavens above, and whose greatness is manifest throughout the world. Adonai is our God, there is none else, there is none else.
Please be seated. Just a quick reminder that if you are a parent of a college student, please make sure to send us your college students' new addresses for this new year so that we can continue to communicate with them and send them packages. Also, as you leave tonight, don't forget to remind yourself to bring tomorrow or at Yom Kippur food for Yad Ezra. We collect almost 25,000 pounds of food each year for our kosher food bank. So please remember to bring those bags back with you when you return for either tomorrow's services or Yom Kippur. We now turn to page 73 as we turn to this prayer for memory. The light of life is a finite flame. Like a candle, life is kindled, it burns, it glows, it is radiant with warmth and beauty. But soon it fades, its substance is consumed, and it is no more. In light we see, in light we are seen. The flames dance and our lives are full. But as night follows day, the candle of our life burns down and gutters. There is an end to the flames, we see no more and are no more seen. Yet we do not despair, for we are more than a memory slowly fading into the darkness. With our lives we give life. Something of us can never die. We move in the eternal cycle of darkness and death, of light and life. We mention now the names of those who have died within the past 30 days, the period of Shloshim. Dr. Adam Apfelblatt, Arnold Bernstein, Bruce Binstock, Mary Boyer, Jane Brodskaya, William Bush, Lee Colbert, Marcia Dickman, Hilda Edwards, Rose Fishoff, Ronald Fruitman, Rochelle Grant, Julie Gerwin, Marcia Koretsky, Bill Lakritz, Carol Levitsky, Jean Lubin, Marilee Martin, Marshall Martin, Rochelle Martin, Ray Peltz, Regina Polinsky, David Reese, Ilan Rosenberg, Bobby Rothstein, Arthur Singer, Carol Sohigian, Harold Taub, Beryl Zickerman. We also mention the names of those who have died on Rosh Hashanah in years past. Elaine Benenson, Hyman Boyer, Regina Burdowski, Dr. Gary Allen Bernstein, Sarah Eva Collins, Gerald Ginter, Celia Glovinsky, Samuel Grandin, Lucille Iddigson, Morris Mellon, Milton Pierce, Maurice Polinsky, Lawrence Reich, Diane Reed, Dr. Jeffrey David Roshan, Anna Rothenberg, Florence Selman, Phyllis Spector, Helen Tobias, Bessie Tyner, Irving Tyner, Lillian Walters, Eva Weiner, Pearl Wolnez. We pray that their memories will continue to abide in our hearts. As together we rise, and on page 73 we continue the words of Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabba, Yalma divrach chilutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon u'vyomechon u'v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, v'agalau v'zman kariv v'imru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabba mevorach le'olam le'olmei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal Shmei d'Grusha b'richu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran v'alma v'imru, Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, Amen. Oseh shalom b'mroma, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all of us. As together we say, Amen.
Service concludes on page 75 with Adon Olam. Don Olam asher malach b'terem kol yesir nivra להתנשא בחפצו כל, אזי מלך שמו נקרא. ואחרי ככלות הכל, לבדו ימלוך נורא, והוא היה, והוא הווה, והוא יהיה בתפארה. אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יסיר נברא, ונעשה בחפצו כל, אזי מלך שמו נקרא. ואחרי ככלות הכל, לבדו ימלוך נורא, והוא היה, והוא הווה, והוא יהיה בתפארה. והוא אחד אין שני, להמשילו להכפירה, בלי ראשית, בלי תכלית, ולא העוז והמשרה. והוא אלי והי גואלי, וצור חבלי ועת צרה, והוא ניסי ומנוס לי, ונקוסי ביום אקרא. אדון עולם אשר מלך, בטרם כל יציר נברא, ונעשה בחפצו כל, אזי מלך שמו נקרא. ואחרי ככלות הכל, לבדו ימלוך נורא, והוא היה, והוא הווה, והוא Tova.